Okay, so right now, we're all standing at this huge crossroads with artificial intelligence. Seriously, one path leads us down a road we've been on for thousands of years, but the other? The other could completely redefine what it means to be human. So let's explore which one we're actually on. It really forces us to ask a pretty provocative question. In an age where AI can solve problems we once thought were, impossible, is war itself obsolete? Is it just this brutish, horribly inefficient, outdated tool that maybe, just maybe, we should finally leave in the past? Because right now, at this very moment, some of the most powerful forces on the planet are pushing AI down a very, very familiar path. And that path is turning it into the next generation of weaponry. Welcome to the new AI arms race.
And look, this isn't some distant sci-fi concept. Major global players are already deep in development. You've got Lockheed Martin in the US working on autonomous jets and missile targeting. Raytheon, also in the US, is using AI for missile defense and facial recognition. Hop over to the UK, and BAE Systems is developing swarm drone tech. Elbit Systems in Israel, autonomous drones. Norinco in China, robotic tanks. And that Kargu 2 drone from Turkey, we'll get to that. This list just goes to show you, this is a truly global thing.
So at the very heart of this whole debate is a specific kind of technology, lethal autonomous weapons. You'll hear them called laws. And let's be absolutely crystal clear about what we're talking about here. These are weapon systems that can, on their own, make the decision to kill a human being, entirely on their own, with no person in the loop.
And if you're thinking, okay, but this is still just science fiction, well, a 2020 United Nations report suggests it isn't. It details an incident in the Libyan civil war where that Turkish-made Kargu 2 drone may have operated completely autonomously to, and this is a direct quote from the report, hunt down and engage human targets. The age of the so-called killer robot, it might already be here.
So what's driving this race? Well, as it so often is, a huge part of the answer is money. The sheer financial scale, the economics of the global defense industry, is the engine that's funding this entire technological shift.
Just take a look at that number, $2.49 trillion. That's the estimated value of the global defense market for this year alone. It's a tidal wave of cash, and a huge chunk of it is now flowing directly into developing AI for warfare.
And this is where those abstract trillions become painfully real. The cost of a single main battle tank, that's about $10 million. You could use that to build about 200 small permanent homes instead. A single modern fighter jet, $100 million. That's 2,000 homes. And one stealth bomber, that could build 14,000 homes. This is the opportunity cost. It's the crucial point. Every single dollar spent programming an autonomous weapon is a dollar not spent on a human solution.
But remember, that's only one of the two paths. At the exact same time, a really powerful counter-movement is rising up. One that is dedicated to reclaiming AI's incredible potential for peace and, for human progress. This statement from the Campaign to Stop Killer Robots. It's so simple, but it's the ethical core of this entire movement. The argument is that the decision to take a human life is a profound moral judgment. It's something that can never and should never be handed over to a machine.
And this is not some small fringe idea. The Alliance for AI for Peace is diverse and incredibly influential. We're talking about the Campaign to Stop Killer Robots, a global coalition of over 250 NGOs. There's Peace Tech Lab using AI to predict conflict, the Future of Life Institute, which is backed by thousands of AI researchers, groups like AI for Peace or AIFP that are focused on preventing online radicalization. Even huge international bodies like UNESCO are pushing for a global AI ethics framework. And get this, the partnership on AI brings tech giants like Google and Microsoft to the same table as groups like the ACLU to try and set these standards.
I mean, this slide lays it out as clearly as possible. This is the choice. The very same underlying technology can be used for autonomous targeting or for predicting famine, for creating swarm drones, or for monitoring the hate speech that so often leads to violence, robotic tanks, or instant language translation to bridge divides. The technology itself is neutral. What we choose to do with it, that's everything. Which brings us right back to where we started, that crossroads. This isn't just a technical question for some engineers in a lab, or a strategic one for generals in a war room. This is a profound ethical choice for our entire generation.
There's this really powerful argument, and it's adapted from the great abolitionist Frederick Douglass. He said, "Knowledge unfits a child to be a slave." While the modern version of that idea suggests that machine learning and AI's ability to learn and adapt without a human conscience is precisely what makes it unfit to be a weapon. Think about that. A system that learns how to kill is a moral failure that you can't just fix with a software patch.
So what does a path forward actually look like? Well, the peace movement proposes a really clear three-step plan. First, an international treaty that just bans fully autonomous weapons, just like we have for chemical and biological weapons. Second, a strict requirement for meaningful human control over any and all military AI. And third, create a global AI for Peace Accord to actively fund and encourage development that actually helps humanity.
Ultimately, we all have a choice to make about the legacy we're creating right now. Are we going to let this revolutionary technology just amplify our oldest, most destructive habits, or will we use it to finally break the cycle? Let's hope that when the history books are written, they say that in the age of intelligent machines, we chose to become more human, not less.